This clip is sponsored by Med Travelers. If you're an SLP interested in travel therapy, visit medtravelers.com to get started. What is FEES? And, what sort of training did you receive to be able to do this service? So I guess first, maybe, Allie, do you want to tell us a little bit about what is it for those of us who don't know?
Absolutely. So FEES is an instrumental swallow study, and it involves a small 3 millimeter, like the diameter of a spaghetti noodle, camera endoscope with a light source being placed along the floor of the nose to overlook the throat when a patient is swallowing. And what we are able to see is the pharynx and the larynx, and we put food dye in the food and the liquid so that we can see it pass through, and we can see if a patient, if it's going down the wrong way, which is aspiration, if it's going down towards the right way, which is, the esophagus, the food tube. And we can assess by what we see, by, the location of some residue, some food being left over, or the presence or absence of aspiration, just a lot of pathophysiology, or, the markers for dysphagia. We can find those, assess the rationale for why those things are happening, and ultimately come up with not only a diet recommendation, but more importantly so, a care plan for the dysphagia management for the patient.
That's really, I've experienced it once, and can't say it was like the most amazing experience, but it also wasn't the worst experience. So it was, and it was quick. So there was that too. And George, you alluded to this a little bit, and skilled nursing, but tell us a little bit about who are the majority of the patients you're serving, and what has led them to need this evaluation? Like, what are typically the referrals are saying when you're getting them?
Yeah, so the population that we primarily serve are patients that are in nursing homes, patients with long-standing disease processes like Parkinson's disease, dementia. You can have patients just with long-term disabilities, the aging population, which has, people that have a variety of medical complexities. And so it tends to be these patients that a lot of them, unfortunately, have sort of gone a long time without getting a swallow study and getting a proper look at what's going on. And so that is sort of where our passion comes from, to be able to give some of these patients the access to high quality swallow studies where we can very easily and efficiently come into the facility, and basically the patient doesn't even have to leave the bed. So we go at the bedside, and that is extremely convenient, and it makes it extremely accessible for patients that just going out of the facility for a test can be incredibly cumbersome, inconvenient, uncomfortable, and even dangerous. So that's sort of where the model came from, and why we feel like it's so important to give access to these very vulnerable patient populations that really need this type of testing.